Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Happy Power channel. Today we have for you guys the storyline as of right now with inside chapter 2. Now disclaimer, we will be skipping a lot of parts in this video, and that's only because I want to make sure you guys get to the most important part. What is the storyline today? Now if you guys want to see a full in-depth video of me showcasing off or actually pretty much explaining the full storyline from start to finish, make sure to leave a comment down below and I might feature that in a future video. But without further ado my friends, let's just hop directly into it. Now, if you guys are anything like me, you definitely love a great storyline with inside books, movies, and of course video games. And Fortnite is most known for their storylines and live events. Now, something weird is going on with inside chapter 2. We don't really see a storyline, or do we? I've been scratching my head since the start of chapter 2, waiting for something to happen. Where is the storyline, my friends? I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page. However, within inside the last week or so, many content creators and many smart community members have finally figured out the storyline with inside chapter 2. And lo and behold, right under our nose the whole time, there has been a fully in-depth storyline. Pretty crazy, huh? So let me explain and let's get started. This whole thing started right here in the background video. All of these loading screens, they tell a massive story, and let me explain. So all this started when the black hole sucked in the chapter 1 map, and it also sucked in all of us as well. From that point on, after 2 days of watching this black hole, we were introduced to the Chapter 2 map, an alternate universe version of the original Chapter 1 map. Now that's important, keep in mind, this Chapter 2 map is an alternate universe version of the original map, and that's why the Chapter 2 map also features some old point of interest from the original map. It explains a lot right there itself. Now with all that being said, considering it's an alternate universe version of the original map, we'll also be seeing some altered versions of original skins, such as all of these in the background video. And that's when we got introduced to the egos and the alter egos. So think of it like this, if you guys were on Earth right now, and if somehow something happened and you guys got transformed or actually teleported to an alternate universe Earth of the exact same thing, like a copy, you would probably see an alternate universe version of yourself. Probably a bad version or a super good version. Now the way the chapter 2 storyline works is basically the chapter 2 map features egos, which are the good guys and the original characters from chapter 1 that are actually meeting their altered version selves within inside the chapter 2 map. So good guys and bad guys. Alright, so now you guys know the basis. When the original ego characters got here from the chapter 1 map and got teleported to this map, they went off on a massive journey, and that's when we actually see the open water challenges appear and the open water pretty much loading screen appear. They're having fun, they're experiencing the map for the first time, and all that great stuff. Now it goes to the Fort and Slurp loading screen. What is going on here? Well, you guys can most likely tell Ripley, who is part of the good guys team, has now found the Slurpy Swamps factory basically. Now weirdly enough, this part of the storyline is completely broken. So whether or not Epic Games know this or not, but as far as we know and as far as the theories go, Ripley is actually better known as this character in the background video, Sludge, the alternate universe version. And supposedly, Sludge, who actually has a full army of himself cloned, one of them actually went inside of Slurpy Swamps and drank some of the actual Slurpy Swamp liquid. And from that point on, it turned him blue and also turned him into a good guy, and he joined the ego team. How do we know this? Well, let me get to some things first. So moving on to the third loading screen, the Dockyard Deal. It most definitely shows that the alter ego versions are completely bad guys. They are selling bad stuff, weapons, ammo, vehicles, all that crazy stuff. And also, we got introduced to the complete Sludge army. So all those red guys are known as Sludge, and of course the good guy version is called Ripley, which is a blue version, which is available with inside the battle pass. So again, alter ego, bad guys, ego, great guys. Moving on to the load down loading screen. So this is actually a breaking point with inside the storyline. The ego team has found out they are not alone on this island, and 8-Ball figured out that dang, he has a clone version of himself called Scratch, an alternate ego evil version. So after they found out this information, 8-Ball leaves the team to go find Scratch. Moving on with the storyline, Hunter and the Hunted. So while 8-Ball is seeking out Scratch, it looks like one of the main characters for Ego has now found Ripley, the transformed new version of Sludge. Now after she finds Ripley hiding, she's like, "Be quiet because they're about to find you." and it definitely shows the bad guys looking for the good guys. So obviously they both know they are definitely not alone. The bad guys have found out they are currently not alone, and before that the good guys found out first they are most definitely not alone, and they have like bad versions of themselves on the Fortnite map, and they are most definitely in an alternate universe. So now thus far, Ripley and the Eagle characters have to get the heck out of here. Moving on to the next loading screen, Trick Shot. 8-Ball finally finds Scratch and they battle it out. Now something most definitely goes wrong, and we know this by the actual storyline characters. Now we're not quite sure who won the fight, but unfortunately it looks like Scratch, the bad character, most definitely won, because right now within inside the game, the Scratch character is now becoming corrupted, and the higher level you guys get, the more corrupted the skin gets. So does this mean that Scratch won and he has now killed off 8-Ball? If that's the case, since he's an alternate version, he would now be corrupted. I mean, think about if you killed your alternate universe of yourself, you might disappear as well, just like in the movies. But instead of Scratch disappearing after killing 8-Ball, I think he's now becoming corrupted. It kind of just makes sense, doesn't it? Moving on to the next loading screen, Dive. It shows the egos versus the alter egos fighting it off and trying to escape them. Now something interesting here, we can most likely tell that the Sludge army is trying to go after Ripley. Is it because he's the key to actually taking down the alter egos? I definitely think so, and we'll get to that in a few moments from now. Now remember guys, Ripley is still a Sludge character. Before he drank the juice with inside Slurpy Swamps, he was Sludge, but after drinking it, he became the blue character, also known as Ripley, a good guy. So obviously they're trying to turn him back into a bad guy, aka a Sludge. And now here we are at the most important loading screen, the Chaos Rising loading screen, and the last part of the storyline so far. Now we get introduced to, of course, the Chaos Agent, the puppet master of the alter egos. He is pretty much the kingpin. He controls all of the bad guys and tells them exactly what to do. And he's also a mad scientist apparently. Now all these screens tell a huge story, and unfortunately we cannot get to all these as we did not explain the start of the actual storyline. We'll explain what's currently going on right now today. But short story short, starting from the very right of the screen, you guys can most definitely tell he has now took an x-ray of the Scratch character to figure out why he's becoming corrupt. After killing 8-Ball, why is he corrupting, and that's what he's trying to figure out. Moving to the top left screen, it actually shows the Sludge army that was created by the Chaos Agent. It looks like he loves creating new armies and he loves morphing characters together, because the StorylineSOLVED skin, which is a secret skin during this season, apparently is made by combining two skins, a good skin and a bad skin. So StorylineSOLVED, the secret character during this actual storyline / battle pass, was actually created with Cameo and Chick being morphed together in a crazy scientist experiment. And not only that, in the future, Turk and Riptide will be morphed together after Turk gets captured and turned into this unreleased leaked skin, Stingray. So you guys can most definitely tell, Chaos Agent is absolutely just bonkers. He wants to morph skins together and kill off all the good guys. And if he doesn't kill them, he wants to steal them and capture them and pretty much morph them into the bad characters to make super versions of themselves. Absolutely just crazy. Now what's also pretty crazy is he is behind all the current snowstorms within inside Fortnite. So coincidentally, right underneath his lair within inside this bunker, right above that is actually the weather station. Coincidence? Definitely not. And it's also definitely not a coincidence that he is watching the snowstorm arrive. So that gives us another hint that he most definitely has been creating these snowstorms. And he is creating havoc all around the Fortnite map to slow down the egos. And by the way guys, speaking of the cube, and how is he making all these characters? Well, it looks like he is trying to harvest the power from the cube. Now he might have been successful by now, and that's how he's going to be creating all these crazy skins, such as Stingray, Sorana, and possibly even some more characters. But we still have no idea how these characters will be introduced within inside the storyline, as Chapter 2 Season 1 is still not over. And that's pretty much where the gray area is. What's going to be happening next? We know for a fact he is a crazy scientist. He is creating these snowstorms, he is trying to kill the egos or capture them and morph them with his evil characters to make some super villains and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And also, he is trying to harvest the power of the cube to do God knows what. And that's pretty much what the storyline leaves off on, unfortunately. So as of right now, that's all we have for you guys. As of right now, that is the storyline. Chaos Agent's behind all of this, and he is trying to take down the egos as well as God knows what, my friends. He is trying to destroy the map, basically. Now, as far as today's video goes, unfortunately, that's all we have for you guys as of right now. But like always, if you guys want to support me and subscribe to this channel, I would highly appreciate that. If you guys want a more in-depth video without skipping through a lot of the information, definitely leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to feature that in a future video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in tomorrow's videos. Stay happy and have a great day.